Imagine this. What if becoming a millionaire in just 1 year was more possible than you think? What if, with the right steps, the right mindset, and a bit of focus, you could turn that dream into your reality? Now, I know what you might be thinking. Is it really possible? Isn't that something reserved for the lucky few? But I'm here to tell you it's not about luck. It's about strategy, hard work, and staying committed to the process. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly what you need to do to set yourself on the path to financial success. And I'm talking about making that leap in just 1 year. The road may seem long and challenging, but it's completely achievable if you have the right mindset and approach. You don't need to be an expert in finance. You don't need a magic formula, and you don't need to come from a rich family. All you need is a plan, consistency, and the belief that you can actually do it. So if you're serious about transforming your financial future, stick with me. I'm going to walk you through the key steps that will help you achieve millionaire status in just 12 months. Let's dive in. Number 1, the power of decision. What if today was the day everything changed? What if right now you made a decision so powerful that it set your entire life on a new course? I'm talking about the kind of decision that wakes you up in the morning with a purpose, the kind that makes you feel alive, because you know you're finally heading in the direction you've always dreamed of. That's the power of decision. You see, everything starts with a decision, not a wish, not a someday plan, a real, definitive, no-turning-back decision. And the truth is, most people never make one. They talk about what they want, they dream about it, but when it comes down to making that commitment, planting their feet and saying, "This is it, I'm doing this no matter what," they hesitate, they hold back. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect circumstances, or some external force to push them forward. Let me tell you something. The perfect time doesn't exist. There's never going to be a moment where the stars align, the path is clear, and everything feels easy. That's not how life works. What separates the people who achieve extraordinary success from everyone else is this: they make the decision anyway. They don't wait for perfect conditions, they create them. I learned this lesson the hard way. When I was younger, I was full of excuses. I blamed the government. I blamed the economy. I blamed my upbringing. I told myself I wasn't smart enough, lucky enough, or connected enough to make something of myself. But then one day, someone looked me in the eye and said, "Jim, if you want your life to change, you have to change. If you want things to get better, you have to get better." That hit me like a ton of bricks. For the first time, I realized that my life wasn't going to improve until I decided to improve it. No one was going to do it for me. No one was coming to rescue me. And that realization was terrifying, but it was also liberating. Because if my life was my responsibility, then I had the power to change it. So I made a decision. I decided that I was going to turn my life around, no matter what it took. And let me tell you, that one decision changed everything. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen without hard work. But it started with a single moment where I said, "Enough is enough. I'm not living like this anymore. I'm going to do whatever it takes to create the life I want." Now let's talk about what it really means to decide. The word decision comes from the Latin root decider, which means to cut off. When you decide, you cut off every other possibility. You burn the bridges to your excuses, your doubts, and your old ways of thinking. You commit fully to the path ahead, no matter how uncertain or difficult it might be. And here's the thing. Once you make a true decision, everything changes. Your focus sharpens. Your energy shifts. You start to see opportunities where you didn't see them before. It's almost like the universe responds to your commitment. But it all starts with that decision. Now I know what you might be thinking. "Jim, what if I decide and it doesn't work out? What if I fail?" Let me tell you something. Failure isn't the end. It's part of the process. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than they can count. The difference is, they didn't let failure stop them. They used it as a stepping stone to keep moving forward. When you make a decision, you're not promising yourself that everything will be easy. You're promising yourself that you'll keep going no matter what. You're committing to growth, to learning, to becoming the kind of person who can overcome challenges and achieve their goals. So let me ask you again. What if today was the day everything changed? What if you decided right here and now to stop holding back and start creating the life you've always wanted? Imagine where you could be a year from now if you made that decision today. Picture the freedom, the confidence, the pride you'd feel knowing you took control of your destiny. And here's the reality. If you don't decide today, nothing changes. A year from now, you'll be in the same place, wondering why your life hasn't improved. That's the price of indecision. Time wasted, opportunities missed, potential left untapped. But it doesn't have to be that way. You have the power to make a decision right now that will set your life on a new course. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real. Maybe it's deciding to start a new habit. Maybe it's deciding to learn a new skill. Maybe it's deciding to reach out to someone who can help you. Whatever it is, take that first step. Because here's the truth. The power of decision isn't just about achieving a goal. It's about becoming the kind of person who takes charge of their life. It's about stepping into your potential and proving to yourself that you can do more, be more, and achieve more than you ever thought possible. So what will it be? Will today be the day you decide, or will you keep waiting for a moment that may never come? The choice is yours, and the power is in your hands. Make the decision. Start now, and watch how your life begins to transform. Number 2. Setting clear goals. Without a clear goal, you're like a ship out at sea without a destination. It doesn't matter how strong the winds are or how skilled the captain is. If you don't know where you're going, you'll end up nowhere. And that's exactly what happens to most people in life. They drift, they move, but they don't progress. They work hard, but they're not working toward anything specific. That's why setting clear goals is not just important, it's essential. The moment you define exactly what you want, everything changes. Suddenly life has direction. Your time has purpose. Your energy has focus. You're no longer just busy. You're productive. And there's a big difference between the two. Busy people spend their days putting out fires and going through the motions. But productive people are making intentional progress towards something meaningful. Now let me ask you this. What's your goal? Not just a vague idea like, I want to be successful or I want to make more money. I mean specifically, what do you want? How much money? By when? What kind of lifestyle do you want to create? What kind of person do you want to become? You see, clarity is power. The clearer you are about your goals, the more likely you are to achieve them. When I was young, I didn't have clear goals. I worked hard, but I wasn't getting anywhere. Then one day, my mentor asked me, Jim, what do you really want out of life? I didn't have an answer. And that's when he told me something I'll never forget. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. That hit me like a lightning bolt. I realized I needed to take control of my life. And that started with setting clear goals. Here's the thing about goals. They're not just about what you achieve. They're about who you become in the process. Let's say your goal is to become a millionaire in 1 year. To make that happen, you're going to have to develop new skills, build new habits, and adopt a new mindset. You'll have to grow into the kind of person who can achieve that level of success. And that growth, that transformation, is the real reward. But let's get practical. How do you set clear goals? First, you've got to be specific. Don't just say, I want to make more money. Decide exactly how much you want to make. And by when. Maybe it's $1 million in 12 months. Write it down. Make it real. Second, break it down into smaller steps. What do you need to do each month, each week, each day to move closer to your goal? This turns a big, intimidating goal into manageable, actionable steps. Next, make sure your goal is measurable. You need to be able to track your progress. If your goal is to save $1 million, how much have you saved so far? If your goal is to launch a business, how many clients have you signed? Keeping track of your progress not only keeps you motivated, but it also helps you make adjustments along the way. Now here's the key. Your goal has to be meaningful to you, not to your parents, not to your friends, not to society, to you. If your goal doesn't inspire you, you're not going to stick with it when things get tough. Take the time to figure out what truly matters to you. What kind of life do you want to create? What legacy do you want to leave? And let me tell you, once you set a clear goal, don't just keep it in your head. Write it down. There's something powerful about putting your goals on paper. It takes them from being just thoughts in your mind to something tangible and real. Keep that written goal somewhere. You can see it every day. Remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. But here's the kicker. Setting the goal is just the beginning. You've got to back it up with action. And not just any action. Consistent, focused action. Every day you've got to ask yourself, what can I do today to get closer to my goal? It doesn't have to be a big step. Sometimes it's the small, consistent actions that make the biggest difference over time. Now let's talk about the inevitable roadblocks. Because let's be honest, the path to achieving your goals isn't going to be smooth. There will be challenges. There will be setbacks. There will be days when you feel like giving up. But if your goal is clear and meaningful, you'll find the strength to keep going. Think about it. If you're driving in a storm and you don't know where you're going, it's easy to pull over and give up. But if you've got a clear destination, you'll keep driving, no matter how bad the weather gets. That's the power of having a clear goal. It keeps you moving forward, even when things get tough. So what's stopping you from setting a clear goal right now? Is it fear, doubt, uncertainty? Let me tell you, those feelings are normal, but don't let them hold you back. The best way to overcome fear is to take action. Start small. Define your goal. Write it down. Take the first step. And remember, this isn't just about achieving a goal. It's about creating a life you're proud of. It's about waking up every day with purpose and going to bed every night with a sense of accomplishment. It's about living intentionally, instead of just going through the motions. So here's my challenge to you. Take some time today to get clear on what you want. Write it down. Break it into steps. Commit to it fully, and then start taking action. Because the life you want isn't going to create itself. It's up to you. And it all starts with setting a clear goal. Let me tell you, a year from now, you'll either be glad you did or wish you had. The choice is yours. So what's it going to be? Number 3, developing valuable skills. Let me ask you something that could completely change the way you see your life. What if the single greatest asset you have right now is not your money, not your connections, not even your time, but your ability to develop valuable skills? Think about that for a moment. Skills are what create value in the world. They are what set you apart, open doors, and ultimately determine how far you can go. If you want to transform your life, this is where you start. Developing valuable skills is not just about learning something new. It's about creating opportunities for yourself that didn't exist before. It's about becoming the kind of person who can walk into any room, any job, any situation, and bring something so valuable that people are willing to pay you for it, respect you for it, and seek you out for it. That's what a skill does. It gives you leverage. But let me make this clear. No one is born with valuable skills. You don't come out of the womb knowing how to code, negotiate, lead, or sell. Every skill is learned. And that's the beauty of it. No matter where you are right now, no matter your background or current circumstances, you can learn, you can grow, you can become more valuable. So where do you start? You start by asking yourself one simple question. What skills do I need to achieve my goals? If your goal is to become a millionaire in 1 year, what skills will get you there? Maybe it's sales, maybe it's investing, maybe it's marketing, or public speaking, or leadership. The specific skills will depend on your goal. But here's the key. Don't try to learn everything at once. Focus on the skills that will have the biggest impact. When I was young and broke, I didn't know much about anything. But my mentor, Earl Schaff, told me something that changed my life. He said, Jim, if you want to have more, you've got to become more. At first, I didn't understand what he meant. But over time, I realized he was talking about skills. He was talking about becoming so valuable that the marketplace couldn't ignore you. Now let's get practical. How do you develop valuable skills? First, you've got to identify the skill you want to learn. Be specific. Don't just say, I want to be better at business. What aspect of business? Sales, leadership, strategy? Pick one and commit to it. Then immerse yourself in it. Read books, take courses, watch videos, listen to podcasts, study the people who are already experts in that skill. But studying alone isn't enough. You've got to practice, and not just casual practice, deliberate practice. That means pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, making mistakes and learning from them. It means doing the hard, sometimes uncomfortable work of improving. Let me tell you a story about a man who changed his life by developing one skill, the ability to sell. He started with no experience, no confidence, and no money. But he made the decision to learn. He studied sales techniques, practiced his pitch, and put himself out there every single day. At first he failed, a lot, but he kept going. He refined his approach, learned from his mistakes, and eventually became one of the top salespeople in his company. That one skill opened doors for him that he never thought possible. And here's the thing. It wasn't just about the money he made. It was about the person he became in the process. He became more confident, more resilient, more capable. That's what skills do. They don't just change your circumstances. They change you. Now I know what you might be thinking. Jim, I don't have the time to learn a new skill. Let me challenge that. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. The difference is how we use them. If you're spending hours every week scrolling through social media, binge watching TV, or doing things that don't add value to your life, then you have the time. It's just a matter of priorities. And let me tell you, the best investment you can make is not in stocks, real estate, or Bitcoin. It's in yourself. When you invest in your skills, you're building an asset that no one can take away from you. Markets can crash, businesses can fail, but your skills will always be with you. They will always create opportunities for you. But here's the catch. Developing valuable skills takes effort. It takes discipline. It takes a willingness to be bad at something before you get good at it. And that's where most people give up. They try something new, struggle with it, and decide it's not for them. But let me tell you, every expert was once a beginner. Every master was once a disaster. The difference is they didn't quit. So what's holding you back? Is it fear of failure? Fear of looking foolish? Let me tell you, the only real failure is not trying. The only thing you should fear is staying exactly where you are, stuck in the same place year after year, because you didn't take the time to develop the skills you need to move forward. Imagine where you could be a year from now if you committed to learning just one new skill. Imagine the opportunities that could open up for you, the doors that could be unlocked. It's not just possible, it's inevitable. If you're willing to put in the work. And don't forget, developing valuable skills isn't just about achieving your own goals. It's about contributing to the world in a meaningful way. When you become more skilled, you're able to solve problems, serve others, and create value. You're able to make a difference. So let me leave you with this. The only limits on your life are the ones you place on yourself. If you believe you can't learn, grow, or improve, then you're right. You won't. But if you believe in your ability to develop valuable skills, if you commit to the process and refuse to give up, then there's no limit to what you can achieve. Start today. Pick a skill, commit to it. Invest your time, your energy, your focus, and watch how your life begins to change. Because the more valuable you become, the more value you can create. And the more value you create, the more success, freedom, and fulfillment you'll experience. It all starts with a decision to develop the skills that will take you where you want to go. Are you ready to make that decision? Let's get started. Number 4, effective time management. You can have all the dreams in the world, but without time management, those dreams won't amount to much. I'm not just talking about ticking boxes on a to-do list. I'm talking about truly mastering your time in a way that works for you and your goals. It's a game changer. And let me tell you, how you spend your hours today will determine your success tomorrow. If you want to build wealth, create lasting success, and get to where you want to be, you need to respect your time like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. The biggest difference between people who become millionaires and those who don't often comes down to how they manage their time. Time is the one resource you can never get back. You can always make more money, but you can never make more time. And once it's gone, that's it. The difference is in how you choose to use those precious hours. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Jim, I'm busy. I have a million things going on. There's no way I can get it all done. You know what? I hear you. We all have a lot on our plates. But here's the thing. Being busy doesn't mean you're being productive, and productivity is what leads to progress. When you start focusing on effective time management, everything shifts. You stop wasting time on things that don't serve your goals. You stop reacting to life, and instead you start proactively creating the life you want. That's the power of time management. It allows you to prioritize what matters most. And when you do that, you'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish in such a short period of time. So let me break this down for you. The first thing you need to do is get clear on your goals. What do you want to achieve in the next year? Do you want to become a millionaire? Do you want financial freedom? Do you want to build a business? Well, you need to know exactly what you're working toward. And once you know what your goals are, you can create a plan that reflects your priorities. And that's where the real magic happens. You can't chase everything. You can't do everything. You have to be ruthless about what you say yes to. When you've got big goals, every minute counts. So ask yourself, is this activity getting me closer to my goal? If the answer is no, stop doing it. Get rid of the distractions, the things that are just filling up your schedule but aren't moving you forward. It's a tough decision to make, but it's a necessary one. Here's a secret. You don't need more time. You need better time management. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's not about how much time you have. It's about what you do with it. And trust me, When you start using your time more effectively, you'll get so much more done in less time. You'll feel less overwhelmed, more in control, and ultimately more successful. Now it's time to get practical. What can you do starting today to manage your time better? Well, it all begins with planning your day the night before. I know it sounds simple, but trust me, it works. When you take a few minutes every evening to map out what you're going to do the next day, you're setting yourself up for success. You wake up with purpose, knowing exactly what needs to get done. You're not wasting time wondering what comes next, or scrambling to figure things out. You hit the ground running, and that momentum makes all the difference. And don't forget about the power of time blocks. Set aside specific periods of time for specific tasks, and commit to staying focused during those blocks. You'd be amazed at how much you can get done in just an hour or two when you eliminate distractions and focus solely on what matters. When you're focused and intentional about how you spend your time, you'll start seeing results fast. Another key piece of time management is learning how to say no. You don't have to say yes to every opportunity, every invitation, or every request that comes your way. If it doesn't align with your goals, say no. It's that simple. Saying yes to everything spreads you too thin and takes away your ability to focus on what truly matters. And that's not how millionaires are made. Millionaires get clear on their priorities and stick to them. They don't let anyone or anything pull them off track. And finally, let me leave you with this thought. Take care of your time, and your time will take care of you. This isn't just about productivity. It's about creating a life that you're proud of, a life that's on your terms. When you manage your time effectively, you manage your life. When you make time for the things that matter, you make space for success. And that's how you start building your wealth. Time is the one thing you can't afford to waste. So make every minute count. When you start taking control of your time, you'll start taking control of your future. And let me tell you, your future is bright. Keep showing up. Keep managing your time with intention, and the results will come. You are more than capable of becoming the person you want to be. All it takes is time, and how you choose to use it. Number 5, building multiple income streams. You can work hard all your life, but without creating multiple streams of income, you're always going to be limited. Let me tell you, building wealth isn't just about having a job. It's about creating opportunities. Multiple income streams give you the freedom to live the life you dream about, because they provide more stability and more growth potential. The richest people in the world don't rely on just one source of income, and neither should you. Let's be real, if you're relying on one paycheck, you're living on the edge. If that paycheck disappears, everything comes crashing down. But when you have multiple income streams, you're building security and opening up doors for your future. Each stream of income you create increases your chances of success. And the best part is, you don't need to be a genius or have a big pile of money to start. What you need is creativity, strategy, and the willingness to take action. First off, let me tell you that creating multiple income streams doesn't mean you need to start several businesses all at once. It's about diversifying your efforts. Think about it this way. If you're only depending on one thing, you're putting all your eggs in one basket. What if that basket breaks? What if the market shifts or the industry changes? The moment that happens, you're left scrambling. But if you build several streams, it's like spreading your eggs across several baskets, and you significantly reduce the risk. Let me give you a few examples. Maybe you've got a steady 9-to-5 job. That's one stream of income. But you can also be building something on the side. Maybe you're learning about real estate investing, and you start acquiring properties that generate passive income. That's a second stream. Or maybe you've got a knack for creating content, so you start a YouTube channel, a blog, or a podcast. That's another stream of income. And maybe you get into stock market investing, or you offer consulting services in your area of expertise. Every time you add another stream, you're making your financial situation stronger. The key here is that each income stream doesn't have to be massive on its own. It's the combination of many small streams that leads to wealth. Over time, these streams build on each other. You don't need to quit your day job, but you do need to find ways to leverage your skills, your time, and your resources to create opportunities that work for you. The more sources of income you have, the less reliant you become on any single one of them, and that gives you more room to grow. Now I know what you might be thinking. Jim, I don't have time to start a bunch of new things. I'm already stretched thin with my current job, my family, and everything else in my life. And you know what? I hear you. But here's the thing. You don't need to create these streams from scratch. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are so many ways to leverage what you already know, what you already have, and what's already around you to create new streams of income. You just need to be willing to start small, learn as you go, and be consistent. Let's talk about passive income for a moment. This is the dream, right? You do the work once, and the money keeps coming in. Whether it's through real estate, dividends from investments, or royalties from content you've created, passive income is the secret weapon of wealthy people. Imagine earning money while you sleep. That's what we're talking about here. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter. You need to think long-term. Because the more passive income you can generate, the more time you can free up to focus on scaling your other income streams. But here's the reality: building multiple streams of income isn't going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, effort, and learning along the way. But here's what I can promise you. If you stay consistent, if you put in the work, and if you stay committed, you'll look back in a year and realize that these streams have compounded on each other. You'll be in a much stronger financial position, and you'll have more opportunities in front of you than you ever imagined. You can start today. Start with something simple. Don't feel the pressure to jump into multiple things all at once. The key is just to get started. Start looking at where you can create value outside of your regular job. What problems can you solve? How can you help others? How can you leverage your skills or knowledge in a way that generates income? The opportunities are out there. You just have to start taking advantage of them. And let's not forget about the power of automation. Once you get these streams of income going, you don't have to be involved in every step of the process. That's how wealthy people scale their businesses. They set things up so that the money can come in without them having to constantly trade their time for it. The more you can automate, the more you can focus on scaling. But it all starts with the decision to take action. And I know you've got what it takes. You've got the ambition, you've got the drive, and you've got the determination to make this happen. It's not easy, and it's not quick, but it is possible. Create one stream, then two, then three. Before you know it, you'll have multiple income streams working for you. And that's when the magic happens. I want you to understand something. Financial freedom is available to everyone. It's just a matter of being willing to build it, bit by bit. Each income stream is like planting a seed. It may start small, but with the right care, attention, and patience, it will grow into something big. You're building your future, and every small step you take today is a step closer to the freedom you want. Don't wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time is now. Build those streams and watch your life begin to transform. Number 6, cultivating a growth mindset. The truth is, if you're not growing, you're falling behind. A growth mindset isn't just a nice idea to consider. It's a necessary shift that will determine whether you succeed or stay stuck. You're either growing or you're shrinking. There's no middle ground. If you want to become a millionaire in a year, this shift in your thinking is absolutely critical. You can't stay in the same place and expect things to change. To grow, you need to embrace the discomfort of learning new things, taking on challenges, and pushing past what you thought were your limits. I know this can feel intimidating. The idea of constant growth, of always pushing yourself to learn and develop, can seem exhausting. But here's the secret. Growth doesn't have to be painful. It just has to be consistent. Every day you wake up, you have a choice. You can either stay the same, doing what you've always done, or you can choose to get better. And let me tell you, the moment you choose growth, you open the door to a world of opportunity. The world doesn't reward people who are stagnant. It rewards those who are always learning, always improving, and always expanding their potential. This is the mindset that millionaires have. They don't stop learning once they reach a certain level of success. They understand that in order to keep moving forward, they must constantly evolve. This is what separates the ones who stay stuck from the ones who thrive. So how do you cultivate this growth mindset? It all begins with your attitude toward failure. Most people are terrified of failing. But here's the truth. Failure is not the enemy. It's part of the process. You will fail. I will fail. Everyone who's ever achieved anything great has failed many times along the way. The key is to reframe failure. Instead of seeing it as a setback, see it as an opportunity to learn and improve. Every time you fail, you gain insight into what doesn't work. And that brings you one step closer to figuring out what does. The reason people with a growth mindset succeed where others falter is because they don't give up when things get tough. They don't let failures define them. Instead, they use them as fuel to keep going. The most successful people are the ones who learn how to get up every time they fall. And I know you can do that too. You've got it in you. You just need to change the way you think about challenges and setbacks. Another important aspect of cultivating a growth mindset is believing that your abilities are not fixed. You're not born with a set of abilities that you can never change. Your skills, your intelligence, and your talents are all things you can improve with effort and dedication. The idea that some people are just born with it is a myth. The truth is, the more you put into your growth, the more you will get out. If you're not good at something today, that's okay. It doesn't mean you'll never be good at it. It just means you need to commit to learning and improving. Take a moment and think about something you're good at today. Something you've worked hard to get better at. Maybe it's a skill, a craft, or a knowledge area. Do you think you were always that good at it? Probably not. You probably stumbled, you probably made mistakes, and you probably had setbacks. But with time, effort, and persistence, you got better. That's the power of growth. You are capable of so much more than you think, but you have to believe in your ability to learn and improve. It's easy to get discouraged when you're not seeing immediate results. This is another common mistake people make. They think growth should be instant, but in reality, growth is a gradual process. It's like planting a seed. You water it, you nurture it, and over time, it grows into something bigger and stronger. The same is true for you and your goals. If you're working toward becoming a millionaire, you might not see immediate financial results, but every single step you take, every lesson you learn, every challenge you face, and every failure you encounter is adding to your growth. You just have to trust the process and keep pushing forward. Now let's talk about how this mindset applies to your journey toward wealth. A growth mindset in business, finance, and entrepreneurship is essential. The people who are constantly improving and learning new skills are the ones who rise to the top. You need to be someone who looks for opportunities to expand your knowledge, whether that means reading books, attending seminars, or connecting with people who have the expertise you lack. The more you learn, the more you can apply that knowledge to create success. And here's the thing, growth isn't just about hard skills. It's also about the soft skills that help you connect with others, communicate effectively, and lead with influence. The more you improve your emotional intelligence, your ability to collaborate, and your leadership skills, the more you'll attract opportunities and people who want to work with you. People want to be around individuals who inspire them, who are constantly growing, and who have a vision for their future. That's the kind of person you need to become if you want to build lasting wealth. I want you to understand this. There is no finish line when it comes to growth. You don't reach a point where you're done learning and improving. The most successful people in the world will tell you that they're always growing, always striving for the next level. And that's what will keep you on the path to success. The minute you stop growing, you stop achieving. But as long as you continue to improve, continue to learn, and continue to push your limits, there will be no limit to what you can achieve. So if you want to become a millionaire, embrace the growth mindset. Embrace the idea that you can learn anything, you can overcome any obstacle, and you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Every failure is a lesson in disguise. And every step forward is one step closer to the life you've always dreamed of. Now get out there and start growing. The world needs the best version of you, and that version is going to be unstoppable. Keep pushing, keep learning, and keep expanding. Because when you have a growth mindset, there's nothing you can't achieve. Number 7. Networking and mentorship. When you step into the world of success, one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is surround yourself with the right people. You might think that your success depends solely on what you know or how hard you work, but I'm here to tell you that it's just as much about who you know and who you have in your corner. Networking and mentorship aren't just buzzwords. They are the catalysts that can propel you forward at a pace you never thought possible. If you want to fast-track your way to millionaire status, you need to understand this one key thing. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's right. The people you associate with, the people you talk to every day, the people you learn from, these individuals have a direct impact on your mindset, your success, and ultimately, your financial journey. Think about it for a moment. If you're spending your time with people who are constantly complaining, who are stuck in a rut, or who are content with mediocrity, what do you think that does to your own mindset? It pulls you down, limits your thinking, and ultimately prevents you from reaching your true potential. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who are driven, who push boundaries, who think bigger and dream bigger, something inside you starts to shift. You begin to see things from a different perspective. You start to believe that you too can achieve the kind of success that once seemed impossible. But it's not just about the people you're around. It's about the quality of the relationships you build. Networking isn't just exchanging business cards or adding people to your LinkedIn list. It's about genuinely connecting with others, building relationships that are rooted in trust and mutual respect. When you network with intention, when you put effort into truly understanding others and learning from them, you start to tap into a wealth of knowledge, wisdom, and experience that can dramatically change the trajectory of your life. Think about the power of mentorship. You don't have to figure everything out on your own. In fact, you shouldn't. The wealthiest, most successful individuals in the world didn't get there alone. They had mentors, coaches, people who were willing to invest in their growth and guide them along the way. And here's the thing, mentors aren't just there to tell you what to do. They're there to offer their experience, to help you avoid the mistakes they made, and to challenge you to think bigger. When you find the right mentor, they help you see possibilities that you may not have considered, and they open doors you didn't even know existed. Now I'm sure you're thinking, that sounds great, Jim, but how do I find a mentor? It's simple. Look for someone who is where you want to be. Look for someone who has already achieved the kind of success you're striving for. But don't expect them to just hand you the keys to the kingdom. Mentorship is a two-way street. You've got to earn it. You've got to show that you're willing to put in the work, that you're coachable, and that you value their time and wisdom. But when you find the right mentor, someone who believes in you and is willing to guide you, the growth that comes from that relationship is exponential. Networking and mentorship go hand in hand. The relationships you build through networking can open the door to incredible mentorship opportunities. But you can't be passive about it. You've got to put yourself out there. Attend events, reach out to people, ask questions, offer value. Don't be afraid to start a conversation with someone who inspires you. You never know where a simple conversation might lead. And as you build those connections, don't just give, offer your help, your insight, your resources. The more you give, the more you'll receive in return. It's all about building a network of people who support and lift each other up. Here's the thing about mentorship. It's not just about business, it's about life. A good mentor isn't just going to teach you how to make money. They're going to teach you how to think differently, how to overcome adversity, how to stay disciplined, how to manage your time, and how to stay motivated when the going gets tough. They've been where you are, and they know what it takes to get to where you want to go. Their insights and guidance can save you years of trial and error. And let me tell you something, there's no faster way to success than learning from those who have already walked the path you're on. Now I want you to think about the kind of person you want to become, the millionaire version of yourself. Do you think that person is isolated, doing everything on their own? Or do you think they've surrounded themselves with a circle of like-minded, motivated, and successful people? Of course, they've built a network. They've learned from others. They've leaned on their mentors when they needed guidance, and they've offered their own knowledge to others when they were in a position to do so. This is the power of community. The right community can transform your mindset, open doors, and accelerate your growth in ways you never thought possible. But you've got to be intentional about it. You can't wait for the right people to just magically appear in your life. You have to go out and build those relationships. You have to put in the effort to surround yourself with people who will lift you higher, who will challenge you to be better, and who will help you see your potential, even when you can't see it yourself. So what's the first step? Start today. Look around you and evaluate the relationships you have. Are they supporting your goals? Are they encouraging your growth? If not, it might be time to make some changes. You've got to be willing to make tough decisions about who you allow into your life. If someone isn't helping you move forward, then they might be holding you back. Don't be afraid to distance yourself from negative influences, and instead, actively seek out those who will propel you forward. As you begin to surround yourself with successful, like-minded individuals, your own success will begin to take shape. Your network will help you build your confidence, challenge your thinking, and give you the tools you need to succeed. Your mentors will provide the guidance and wisdom that will save you time and help you avoid costly mistakes. And together, these relationships will create a powerful force that propels you toward your goals faster than you ever thought possible. The reality is, no one achieves success on their own. Success is a team sport, and the sooner you realize the power of networking and mentorship, the sooner you'll unlock the doors to opportunities that can change your life. So start building that network. Find those mentors who will guide you. And remember, your success is directly tied to the people you surround yourself with. Choose wisely, and your journey to becoming a millionaire will be a whole lot smoother. Number 8, maintain financial discipline. Let me ask you something. How disciplined are you with your money? I don't mean just the big stuff, like buying a house or making large investments, but the day-to-day decisions, the way you spend, save, and manage your finances in every moment. If you want to be a millionaire in a year, then maintaining financial discipline is absolutely crucial. It's not just about earning a lot of money. It's about how you handle that money when it comes in. Without financial discipline, you might make all the money in the world and still end up with nothing to show for it. You'll find yourself chasing after the next big thing, the next opportunity, without ever building lasting wealth. But financial discipline isn't just about saying no to spending or denying yourself certain pleasures. It's about understanding the deeper value of money and how it fits into your larger vision for success. Money is a tool, that's all it is. And like any tool, if you don't know how to use it, it's not going to work for you. The first step to developing financial discipline is to understand that you are in control. It's not about luck, not about some random twist of fate. It's about taking responsibility for every dollar you make, every penny you spend, and every investment you choose to make or not make. When I talk about financial discipline, I'm talking about the ability to create a system for how you handle your money. It's about having a clear plan that helps you make smart decisions, even when the temptation to overspend is overwhelming. It's not about restricting yourself to the point where you never enjoy anything. Absolutely not. But it's about being intentional with your decisions. Every dollar you spend is a reflection of your priorities. When you spend money, you're voting for the kind of life you want to live, the kind of future you want to create. So how do you develop this discipline? It all starts with awareness. You can't manage what you don't understand. Start by taking a hard look at where your money is going. What are your habits like? Are you spending more on things that don't align with your long-term goals? Are you impulse buying or investing in things that don't provide any return? This is where the tough love kicks in. You need to be brutally honest with yourself about your financial situation. If you're not already tracking your income and expenses, that's where you begin. You've got to know exactly where every penny is going. Once you can see it clearly, only then can you start to make changes. Here's the thing about building financial discipline. It's not going to be easy at first. It's going to take time to change your habits. And there will be moments where you slip up. But that's part of the process. It's important to forgive yourself when you mess up and get right back on track. The key to financial discipline isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Every small step you take toward a more disciplined approach to money will pay off in the long run. Another critical piece of the puzzle is creating a budget. A budget is a plan for your money. It's telling your money where to go, rather than wondering where it went. The most successful people understand the importance of setting aside a certain amount for different purposes: living expenses, savings, investments, and fun. When you create a budget, you take control of your financial future. You stop leaving your financial security up to chance, and you start to build a life that aligns with your goals. And let me tell you this, when you make budgeting a habit, it becomes second nature. You won't have to think twice about whether or not you can afford something, because you'll already know the answer. Now, when I say budget, I'm not talking about limiting yourself to the point where you never have any fun. I'm not suggesting you should live like a hermit and avoid spending money altogether. But financial discipline means making intentional decisions about where your money goes. It's about creating space for saving and investing, while also making sure you're enjoying your life in the present. It's about balance. If you want to be a millionaire, you've got to be willing to sacrifice some things today so that you can have more tomorrow. Every time you say no to an impulse buy, every time you resist the urge to overspend, you're making a deposit into your future. Saving and investing are also non-negotiable components of financial discipline. If you're serious about building wealth, you need to consistently put money aside for the future. This is where many people fall short. They focus so much on the present that they neglect the future. But I'll tell you this, the future is coming whether you're ready for it or not. You can either be proactive about it or let it catch you by surprise. The most financially disciplined people understand that the key to wealth is to start investing as early as possible and to continue to invest consistently. This doesn't mean you have to be some expert in the stock market or real estate, but it does mean that you have to learn how to make your money work for you. This is why you should start thinking about passive income streams. It's not enough to rely solely on your job or business income. If you want to build lasting wealth, you need money coming in from different places, whether that's through real estate, stocks, or creating a business that generates income even when you're not working. You've got to think beyond your salary. Financial discipline means having the foresight to build multiple income streams so that your wealth grows exponentially over time. Let's not forget the importance of debt management. Debt can be one of the biggest obstacles to building wealth if it's not managed properly. The idea is not to avoid debt altogether, but to avoid high-interest debt that can hold you back. It's about being strategic with how you take on debt and making sure you have a plan to pay it off. If you're carrying high-interest credit card debt or other forms of debt, make it a priority to pay it off. The quicker you eliminate that kind of debt, the sooner you can redirect your money toward building your wealth. And here's the thing about financial discipline. It's not just about numbers. It's about mindset. It's about seeing the bigger picture, understanding that every financial decision you make today has a direct impact on your future. When you start viewing money through this lens, your behavior changes. You become more intentional with how you spend, save, and invest. And this shift in mindset will ultimately lead to greater financial freedom. To wrap it up, financial discipline isn't some magic formula that will make you rich overnight. It's a long-term approach to managing your money that requires focus, patience, and self-control. But with the right mindset and the right strategies in place, you'll start to see how your small decisions today can lead to massive results tomorrow. If you're serious about becoming a millionaire in 1 year, maintaining financial discipline is non-negotiable. Keep track of your spending, create a budget, invest in your future, manage your debt, and remember that every dollar you make is a tool to help you achieve your goals. When you develop this discipline, you will begin to see the results in ways you never thought possible. And that's when true financial freedom becomes not just a dream, but your reality. Number 9, monitoring progress and making adjustments. It's one thing to set a goal, but it's another thing entirely to stick to it and make real progress toward it. As you work toward becoming a millionaire, you need to keep a pulse on your progress. You can't just make a decision, set your goals, and hope for the best. You have to track where you're at, analyze what's working, and make adjustments when things aren't going the way you expected. This is the key to staying on course and ensuring that you're heading in the right direction. The truth is, things will never go exactly as planned, but if you stay committed to monitoring your progress and adjusting your approach, you'll have the resilience you need to succeed. Imagine you're driving somewhere and you're using GPS to get there. The GPS is constantly recalculating and adjusting based on the route you're taking, making sure you stay on track and arrive at your destination. Now think of yourself as the driver of your life and your goals as your destination. If you don't check in along the way, if you don't pay attention to what's working and what isn't, you might get lost or find yourself heading in the wrong direction without realizing it. But when you monitor your progress regularly, it's like you're checking your map and adjusting as needed to get to your final destination. You'll be able to make informed decisions about your next steps, and you'll always be moving forward with purpose. So how do you monitor your progress effectively? It starts with being honest with yourself about where you are in the process. You've got to take an objective look at your progress so far. Are you hitting your targets? Are you staying on track with your financial goals, your investments, or your business strategies? You can't measure your success if you're not paying attention to the details. This is where tracking becomes incredibly powerful. Whether you're keeping a journal, using an app, or creating a spreadsheet, find a way to track your actions, your spending, your investments, and your results. This way you can see how far you've come, and you'll also have the data you need to make adjustments as you go. But it's not just about numbers, it's about analyzing what those numbers mean. For example, if you're not hitting your income goals, you need to dig deeper. Are there areas where you're spending too much? Are your income streams where they need to be? Or is there a gap in your strategy that you haven't noticed? When you track everything closely, you start to see patterns and trends. You get to understand your habits, what's working and what isn't. And from there you can make the right changes. You're no longer just reacting to situations. You're proactively making adjustments to get back on track. And let's be real, adjusting your plan is necessary. Life doesn't go according to a perfect script. There are bumps in the road, changes in the market, unexpected challenges, And sometimes things just don't pan out the way you thought they would. That's why you need to be flexible. You've got to stay open to making tweaks along the way. You might have to revise your strategy, learn new skills, or try a different approach if you're not getting the results you want. The key is not to get discouraged when things don't go as planned. Instead, look at it as an opportunity to learn and adjust your course. Progress isn't always linear. Sometimes you'll experience periods of rapid growth, and other times, things will slow down. That's okay. What matters is that you stay consistent and keep monitoring your progress. Don't get too comfortable with where you are, and don't get discouraged by setbacks. Stay the course, but also know when it's time to shift your strategy. Regularly checking in with yourself and your goals will allow you to do that. It's about being proactive rather than reactive. One of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to monitoring progress is failing to celebrate their wins. It's easy to get focused on what's next and never take the time to acknowledge how far you've come. But taking the time to celebrate your milestones, no matter how small, is incredibly important. It's a way of reinforcing positive behavior and recognizing your hard work. Celebrate the fact that you're on the right path, that you're moving forward, even if it's at a slower pace than you anticipated. Celebrating your progress fuels your motivation, keeps your energy up, and reminds you that every step forward is a step closer to your goal. Now let's talk about the bigger picture. Monitoring progress isn't just about the day-to-day tasks. It's also about evaluating the overall direction you're headed in. Are you still aligned with your long-term vision? Are the goals you set at the beginning still relevant to where you want to go? Or have things changed along the way? Sometimes as you make progress and grow, you'll realize that your original goals need to be adjusted, and that's okay. Growth often leads to a shift in perspective. As you learn new things, you may discover that you want something different, something bigger, or something more specific. And if that's the case, don't be afraid to adjust your goals to match your new vision. The process of monitoring your progress is about more than just sticking to your original plan. It's about evolving and staying flexible in the face of new opportunities. There's another key element in monitoring progress, and that's accountability. When you're working alone toward your millionaire goal, it's easy to fall off track. But when you have someone else to answer to, when you've got a mentor or a peer group that's checking in on your progress, it holds you to a higher standard. You don't want to let others down, and that extra layer of accountability can be the difference between success and failure. Having someone who's invested in your growth, someone who can offer feedback and guidance, helps you stay focused, stay disciplined, and make the necessary adjustments when things go off course. You don't need to do this alone. Find people who are on the same path, people who are committed to their own progress, and work together to keep each other on track. Whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a group of like-minded individuals, surrounding yourself with people who are just as focused on their goals as you are is a powerful way to stay accountable and motivated. And remember, it's not about competing with others. It's about learning from each other, supporting each other, and growing together. At the end of the day, monitoring your progress is about more than just reaching the goal. It's about becoming the person you need to be to get there. It's about learning from your experiences, evolving, and adjusting your actions as you gain more knowledge and insight along the way. So keep tracking your progress, keep making those adjustments, and don't forget to celebrate every small victory. Every step you take brings you closer to your ultimate goal. And every time you review and adjust your plan, you're building the resilience, the mindset, and the habits you need to become a millionaire. Your journey won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it if you stay committed to the process. Number 10. Staying motivated and resilient. To truly succeed and reach your goals, especially when aiming for something as big as becoming a millionaire, you've got to stay motivated. That fire, that drive, has to stay lit no matter what. And it's not always easy, is it? Some days you'll feel unstoppable, but other days it might feel like you're pushing against a brick wall. That's just part of the process. And you've got to find ways to keep your motivation high, even when the challenges seem overwhelming. The most successful people aren't the ones who never feel discouraged. They're the ones who find a way to stay motivated through the ups and downs. They keep going when things aren't easy, and they keep their eyes on the prize no matter what. So how do you stay motivated when things get tough? First and foremost, it's about reminding yourself of why you started in the first place. You've got to tap into that deeper emotional reason behind your goal. What is it that's driving you to work toward becoming a millionaire? Is it financial freedom? Is it the ability to help your family or your community? Maybe it's the freedom to live life on your own terms, without being bound by the constraints of a 9-to-5 job. Whatever your why is, keep it front and center. Whenever you face a setback or a challenge, come back to that reason. Let it fuel you. Let it remind you why it's worth pushing through. This isn't about motivation that comes from external sources or fleeting inspiration. It's about creating an inner fire that doesn't rely on anyone else's approval, encouragement, or cheerleading. It comes from within. And that's the type of motivation that will carry you through even the toughest times. Internal motivation is what separates those who make it and those who give up along the way. When the world isn't cheering for you, when people question your goals or doubt your ability to succeed, your internal drive is what will keep you moving forward. One thing that often kills motivation is the feeling of being overwhelmed. It's easy to look at the big picture, see how far you have to go, and feel like it's all too much. But the key here is to break it down. Take it one step at a time. You don't have to do everything at once. Focus on what's in front of you right now, and take action on that. By breaking your goal down into smaller, more manageable tasks, you can prevent yourself from feeling paralyzed by the weight of it all. Each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Celebrate those small victories, because they're leading you to the bigger ones. And yes, sometimes motivation will dip. That's just the way life works. It's okay to have moments where you don't feel like doing the work, where you want to take a break, or question whether it's all worth it. But here's the thing. The people who make it are the ones who don't let those moments define them. They feel the dip, but they don't let it stop them. They keep going, because they know that staying consistent is the key to success. Even when you don't feel motivated, show up, do the work. The days when you feel like you're not making progress are just as important as the days when you feel on top of the world. It's about doing it anyway, even when you don't feel like it. One of the most powerful ways to stay motivated is by creating routines and habits that keep you in motion. When you make success a part of your everyday life, you don't have to rely on motivation alone. Motivation is fleeting, but habits are what keep you going when motivation fades. Build daily rituals that move you toward your goal, whether that's setting aside time to work on your business, reading personal development books, or tracking your finances. These habits become automatic over time, and they'll carry you through the days when you're not feeling your best. Another key element in staying motivated is surrounding yourself with the right people. The people you spend time with have an incredible influence on your mindset and energy. If you're constantly around people who are negative or unsupportive of your dreams, it will be much harder to stay motivated. You need to surround yourself with people who lift you up, who believe in your vision, and who inspire you to keep going. This doesn't mean you need a huge circle of people, but having a few key individuals who are on the same journey, or who can provide guidance and support, is invaluable. They can help you stay motivated when things get tough. They can remind you of your potential when you forget. Mentorship also plays a huge role in maintaining motivation. A mentor is someone who has walked the path before you and can offer wisdom, advice, and encouragement. They can see things from a different perspective, offer insights you might have missed, and help you stay on track when you're feeling lost or discouraged. Having someone who believes in you and your ability to achieve your goals is a game changer. It's like having a personal cheerleader who isn't just rooting for you, they're giving you the tools to succeed. Don't be afraid to seek out mentors who can help guide you along the way. In addition to all of this, it's crucial to take care of yourself along the way. It's hard to stay motivated if you're burned out or physically drained. Make sure you're getting enough rest, eating well, and exercising regularly. When you take care of your body, you fuel your mind, and that makes it easier to stay focused and motivated. When your energy is high, your enthusiasm will follow. But perhaps the most important thing to keep in mind is this. Staying motivated doesn't mean you're always going to feel motivated. It's about showing up, doing the work, and trusting the process even when you don't feel like it. Some days you're going to feel tired. Some days you're going to question whether it's all worth it. And some days you might even think about giving up. But the true measure of success is how you handle those days. It's how you push through when it's hard, how you keep going when others might stop. The more you show up, even when motivation is low, the more you'll build the kind of discipline that turns dreams into reality. As you continue your journey, keep reminding yourself that staying motivated is a decision you make every single day. And the more you commit to that decision, the more momentum you build, the more confidence you develop, and the closer you get to your ultimate goal. Keep going, keep moving forward, and remember that every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. You are capable of achieving your dreams. You just have to stay motivated enough to make it happen.